All right, hello Panther fans. We're here with Coach Fuller for the Coaches Show. I want to thank Which again for sponsoring the show. It's hard to believe we're almost midway through the season here. Seems like we anxiously wait through the summer, and then once it gets going, it starts rolling. But good game, obviously, against Grapevine. Good to see the Red Rail stay home again for its fourth year, and pretty exciting game. Why don't you give us your thoughts on how that went?
First of all, I was extremely proud of our guys. They played well to bounce back from the loss against Trinity. But we had a really good day on Monday. Maybe not such a great practice on Tuesday, but Wednesday was probably the best practice we've had all year. I think the guys were excited. They were it means a lot to them to keep that red rail and to beat our crosstown rival. So we couldn't have started the game off any better. We had 2 punt returns for touchdowns in the first quarter, one by Jacob Sisk, one by Ryan Philippi. So that was a great way to kickstart things. Really, I think the name of the game was, or the story of the game was, our defense was just dominant. We played very physical. We challenged them and talked to them all week about being physical, playing fast, and having fun, and that's what they did. Offensively, we finally got rolling, and did some things that we can really build on. Brett Boppinger got back into the mix and was able to fit. He came back from that collarbone against Trinity. He was a little bit timid, which I would be too. I know that feeling. I've done that personally. But he had a great game. Offensive line did a good job protecting us, and it was just a overall good night. We tackled well. We ran to the ball. We got off of blocks. We're a physical team, and we just need to really build on that for next week.
Good, yeah. So as we look at MacArthur again home, nice to have back-to-back home games. What do you see in terms of their style of play, adjustments? I mean, you see any big changes from week to week?
MacArthur historically has always given us everything we can handle. It doesn't matter what our record is or what theirs is. They've always got athletes. They've got a number of guys on offense who, if we miss a tackle or take a bad angle or below an assignment, they can take it a long way in a hurry. Their offensive line, I think, is even better than last year. They're doing a good job running the ball. Their quarterback's a good passer, and they've got some good guys to throw it to. Defensively, they always have a lot of speed. They've been consistent in their scheme for a long time. Now they may tweak it a little bit for us. Last year they did. They run a 4-2-5, but they ran a 3-2 and blitzed us. Ran a lot of two-man against us last year and pressed us, which gave us some troubles early. If you remember last year, we were down 20-0 right before half. We finally scored a couple of touchdowns and ended up winning 56-47. So they definitely have our best attention. They're a really good football team, really scary football team. So we need to have a great week of practice. We need to be consistent in the game. We can't make you put a ball a couple of feet off target with those kind of athletes in the secondary. They can get it, and they can take it a long way too. So we've got to do a good job running the ball. We've got to do a good job of taking what they give us, and when we have somebody open, we've got to throw and catch.
Yeah, I think they had Trinity last week, if I remember. So sort of a typical result there. So I'm sure they'll be hungry and anxious to try and get that situation turned around as well. Looks like we're healthy as we've been here the last couple of weeks. What's the outlook in terms of the starters and injuries?
I think we're doing well health-wise. Everybody that played last week will be able to play this week. We had a couple of bumps and bruises that you get from time to time. We had some guys last week. We didn't know for sure if we were going to have all of our players. We had a couple of guys that were iffy from injuries they had sustained in the week before, but everybody was cleared and they were able to play. So we'll have all those same people. If we get into the training room, get treatment right, everybody should be at full speed on Friday. Wanted to also mention that we wore for the first time in a long time, maybe since the first year of the school. We wore some red jerseys that we'd been keeping as a surprise. We didn't break them out until Friday morning. Said Pride on the front instead of Panthers. But I think that kind of sparked the kids a little bit, and they felt good, and it really looked good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, being an Oregon fan, it's nice to see the switch up. What I know from some of the parents on the lighter side, so how do you determine from here out, now that we have a few options, what we go with week to week? How and who makes that decision?
I do. But I think it looks so good. To me, it looked so good the other day. We're going to wear it again this week. It looks sharp.
Good. All right, great Panther fans. We had a great turnout last week. Of course, crosstown rival. We need to keep up the attendance this week. Friday at home against MacArthur. I think the weather's supposed to be pretty good. Let's get a good turnout, support our kids here, and get on a roll as we get through mid-district. Again, thanks to Which Wich for sponsoring our coaches show. Appreciate their help, and we'll see you Friday. Go Panthers.